Hey, welcome back, and wow indeed. So for this video here, this is part 2. Yesterday we came down from the northwest part of the Sea of Galilee and made it all the way down to a camp that is part of the network of camps that sit along what I'm going to call the Trans-Israeli Trail, which is a hiking trail that runs north to south, maybe 600 plus kilometers. Just have to correct myself there. That is actually the Israel National Trail. It's 1,000 kilometers long, and it is listed by National Geographic as one of the 20 most epic hikes in the world. If you're from Canada or any other large nation as far as geographical, as I am, 600 kilometers doesn't even take you out of your own province, but Israel is a fairly small country, but fairly diverse topography too. So today we're just working our way down, and if you look way off in the horizon and you can see those mountains, that's where we're going to get to, and that is the Golan Heights. So like I said, here's where we're picking up, which is south of Tiberias, kind of just off that blue line to the left on the screen. I won't even try to pronounce that name, but that's roughly where we are. And if you see that water down to my left now, that is the southernmost part of the Sea of Galilee.
I'll just enjoy some quiet for a while.
Alright, well I'm slamming away on my gearbox trying to find neutral as I coast down this hill, just because it appeals to me to ride along quietly in this picturesque landscape. Let me reintroduce the cast of characters we have here. Up in front there on the mighty DR is Yaron, and just in front of me is Henki, and behind me, which you've probably seen more of in the last video, was Ronnie.
Well, if we went further down, we could probably get around and get on that road. Maybe?
Maybe. It's a big maybe. Ramat Golan, it's all like this.
Yeah.
Closed gates everywhere.
Yes, there were closed gates everywhere. Right now we're on the east side of the Sea of Galilee, and this is a very dense agricultural area, and it's been pretty hard for us to navigate. I've snipped out a whole bunch of videos, so we've been in, probably an hour and change on the trail now, if not longer. And where we are is right where that blue line is tight to the Sea of Galilee. And what we're going to end up doing is jumping on the highway and running up the road a bit to regain the trail right about here. And then this is where we're going to turn into the Golan Heights. And as far as the ride goes and the adventure of it all, this is where things kind of pick up again. It's going to be a little bit of a tougher trail in here and some pretty stunning landscapes from my opinion. And I'll talk a bit more about the Golan in just a minute, but right now this is our final little nav check to make sure we're on the trail, and then we're just going to hit it. Alright, directions sorted out, confirmation that we are on the track that we need to be on, and we're off.
Hen's giving her hell. There, she's got momentum. Keep her going, keep her going. Just watch over that big ass trench. the Sea of Galilee from the opposite side.
Bad.
Yeah, that was a rough climb to come up that hill. It's a lot of loose boulders and some washouts. So we're going to stop here, and this is a little spring, and there's, what, 160 of them here? Unfortunately, that stop means we got behind the trucks again, but not for too long. We do end up stopping at quite a few of the springs, at least the cool springs, because no one wants a hot spring on this day because it is scorching out. And when you're out on a bike, you're just under the sun the entire time, cooking in your helmet. Like I said, this is going to be a long day. So we're not going to see these trucks too much more after this, one more time I think, and then we carry on. But we do stop at the springs fairly frequently, or at least when we come across them. And those springs are just water that's been trapped between the basalt rocks and weeps its way down the mountain, and some of it actually runs quite strong. So where we just stopped there was maybe a 1-inch hose that was flowing pretty steady water, so you could just dump it on your head, and it is cool and clear and I think drinkable, although I didn't drink any of it. So we've just come through a muddy section, and this is the second part of it, but we don't see a whole lot of mud after this. In fact, I don't think we see any more beyond this. This must be a spot where some of that water that I was just talking about is flowing up closer to the surface. It's a bit tricky because you don't know how soft the bottom is, but the mighty 250 picks its way through nice and clean, and then I just gotta make sure everyone else gets through okay. And that's how it goes when you're riding as a team. You kind of want to make sure that everyone's okay and that your energy levels are all sort of kept on par so you can move along at the same pace. So if I have a little bit more to spare to pull a bike through, great. And if that keeps everyone on par as far as energy and the pace that we can hold, all the better. On top of that, though, what I would say is playing in the mud is nothing new to me because, well, I'm East Coast Canada and we get a lot of mud and wet, and here it's a bit more of an anomaly. As you can tell there, Ronnie's not particularly tall, and that is a KTM 500, so it is a relatively tall bike, and her hand hurts quite badly. And she confirmed that to me here recently when I sent her the link to the first video, that she remembers this trip for the misery of her sore hand, but also being a lot of fun. So I'm trying to help her out here, but she assures me she's got it, and she does.
You got it? Just follow the water.
I'm gonna say it, I do miss this little 250, and as an adventure bike, for crushing big miles, probably not, but in terms of this kind of stuff, it was a fantastic bike to ride.
This was the future of bikes soon, all electric, and they just make this little
So this is going to be another little stop at a nice little spring, but it's actually part of the trail as well, as you'll see. Alright, well I didn't take any video of us with our boots off and our feet in the water, but we did do just that. And right now we're getting back on the trail because the trucks have caught up to us and it's time to move on. And right here, I'm just encouraging Ronnie to drop in and not hit the brakes at all, but just roll right into it.
Don't brake, don't brake.
As I rewatch this, and this is, well, it's almost 2 years since we did this trip, I think, I'm realizing that my encouragement isn't very helpful. So I probably should have just stayed quiet in that moment as Ronnie figured it out and got through. Alright, we got to get through this little stream as well, and it was actually pretty deep, although not over the top of the tire, so probably not up to the airbox. But if you bang into a rock and you fall over in something that's 1.5 feet deep, you're going to drown your bike, and that's going to suck. We've worked our way deeper into the Golan now, and we're up much higher, and the views are going to get that much better. So I'm just going to be quiet for a little while so you can enjoy some of this. It's very difficult to avoid talking about the geopolitical realities of the Middle East and those surrounding Israel. But I'm going to do my best to avoid that and just kind of give a little historical context for those that may not know or those that are interested in reading a bit more. This might steer some of your Google search and Wikipedia reading a little bit. But as I mentioned, this whole area is still considered Syrian territory by Syria and the international community, but not by Israel. It's certainly not the spoils of war, although it sort of comes across that way. So this territory was taken in 1967 during the 6 Days War, which saw a huge Syrian force coming against a very small Israeli force, which was able to fight them off. And again in 74, Syria tried to, along with Egypt, attack Israel, and that was rebutted. And in 1981, under Israeli law, they annexed this territory. And it's probably seen more as a buffer from future threat, but even present day along the border with Syria there is conflict ongoing.
What's going on?
My vent is
The fan.
the fan.
Sorry?
Maybe maybe
The
one
fan
of
doesn't
my
work.
fall down. Little bit bend.
Well, that's not particularly good news. It's about 34 degrees, and you're going to need your fan to work in this environment, or else your bike is definitely going to overheat. So we're running into some issues here. Ronnie's hand is still a problem in Yaron is having problems with his fan, and we've got one more problem coming up.
Ooh, you okay? Just move over there and just sit down. Just roll over onto your butt. Is it your knee?
I'm okay.
Huh?
I'm okay.
Okay, just sit for a bit.
So you never want to see any of your friends get hurt, and you certainly don't want to see anyone get hurt when you're this far out from help. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, how far are those trucks? Are they coming this way? What's the nearest area? And how bad is this injury? And I guess we'll just have to wait to find out.